Emergency Fund Act, Regulations 2021. The committee also observed that the disaster management plan has complied with the requirements of the law. Recommendations, Madam Speaker. The committee recommends that this House discusses and approves Machakos County Disaster Management Plan as provided by Section 10(2) of the Public Finance Management Act, Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021. Number 2, the Disaster Management Plan Committee should ensure that the plan is reviewed annually as provided by Section 10(4) of Public Finance Management Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021. My last point is the committee is grateful to the offices of the Speaker and that of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support accorded during the execution of this task. I also express my appreciation to honorable members and the Secretariat of the committee. Further, Madam Speaker, the committee acknowledges the support of the County Commissioner of Machakos and National Disaster Management Unit, NDMU, the International Organization for Migration, the National Coordination Mechanism on Migration, and the National Police Service for the support they accorded us. On behalf of the Decentralized Committee, very committed members, and pursuant to Regulation 10(2) of Public Finance Management Act, Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021, it is now my duty and privilege to present to the House the report of Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee on Machakos County Disaster Management Plan for consideration and approval by the House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Now I invite members to debate. Honorable Kavio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support the report as presented by the committee. One, because disasters are always with us here on day-to-day basis. And most of the time, Madam Speaker, as a county, it has been a challenge for them to implement and also to respond fully to disasters when they strike. Madam Speaker, just to point out that the document that is being presented to us this afternoon aligns to the national government plan on disaster and risk management. And also, Madam Speaker, to note, this is going to give the respective department the power and the capacity to be able to respond and effectively address issues when they arise. Not only when disasters strike, but it also provides a framework that will help even to manage the post-disaster impact that are left behind. Because when we experience some heavy rainfall, sometimes, whether it's last year or is in late 2023, a lot of our people suffered, and especially in Kinanie, most people lost their homes, others lost their livestock. And Madam Speaker, it has never been the same for those families. And if there was such a plan at that time, maybe the county would have found a way of addressing and trying to restore or to indemnify the affected people to their initial position where they are. So it's a good report and we support. And we also want to challenge all the committees whenever there is an opportunity to address and look at documents that directly affect our people. We do it as fast as possible so that we can leave room for our people to be attended to. And also, as we approve the plan, I want also to challenge the respective department on the executive side to fast track and come up with a regulation and a clear policy that will provide the specific details. And when we'll be getting the supplementary budget, we need to take into account the recommendation by this document, because the document that the budget that we recently approved, it was not compliant as per the recommendation of this disaster plan. So that is something that needs to be taken into account by the Committee on Budget. Once they get the first supplementary budget, we ensure all those items are taken into account. Thank you, and I support the report. I don't know whether it is only my report that the chair has not signed. So they need to sign and on the report, the chair and the members of the committee. But I support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ndwiki, then Honorable Paul, Honorable Mwanga, and Honorable Lloyd. Honorable Molinge, you have already spoken.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Daniel
I
Ndwiki.
use my powers to give you another opportunity. Honorable Ndwiki, proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I start to support this report, Madam Speaker. I've been a major victim of this disaster, Madam Speaker, in my ward in Mulolongo. And we have been experiencing fire disaster, Madam Speaker. And it has been very hard for the county government of Machakos to act or just compensate or just do something to the affected person because of lack of this report, Madam Speaker. So this is a good report that I support. And now as I speak, we have over 5 cases of fire in Mololongo that has not been attended by the county government of Machakos because of lack of this report. So I want to thank the chair, the Central Light Institute, for bringing this report. And this is a good news to my people. And also wish the county government of Machakos consider the people affected before. They backdate the effect of this report to the previous victims, because in fact they suffer. And every time I meet them, they remind me what's happening. Madam Speaker, we watch in the news. We watch everywhere. Once we have disasters in several other places, like in Nairobi or in our slums areas, once they got fire, we see the county government giving support to the citizens. But the county government of Machakos have been so hard to give support to our people. Also, in this report, it is so good that the county government also consider to have a data of where disasters occur, like where there is dangers of flooding, where there is dangers of fire, like in Mulolongo. We have something like a fire extinction in that place, because it takes a long time. Properties are destroyed before the extinction reaches the place, and the people are highly concerned about this matter. So I'm happy today. I'm one of the happiest honorable member because of this report, and I support it fully. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ndwiki, there is also another disaster you forgot to mention. The John Walker one.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Okay. So disasters are going to be handled because of that statement. Honorable...
I was next, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Paul, yes, I recall.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, let me thank Mwala 1, Mheshimiwa Brian, ranking member and chairman of the committee, together with his able vice chair and the members, for bringing this report in good time for approval by this House. Madam Speaker, I support the report, and I want to emphasize more on the issue of community involvement. Madam Speaker, our communities are the first responders of any disaster. May it be fire in Mlolongo, May it be floods from all the way from Mbiuni to Kibauni, through Mwala and Wamunyu. The community are the first responders to any emergency. And I would urge the county government to take it upon itself to have community volunteers trained thoroughly, so that when they respond in a good way, in a way that is safe for them and for those who are affected. Madam Speaker, for instance, along at River Adi, where we come from, the other day I had a case where a Form 3 pupil drowned in River Adi. I called the county, our county guys. They came together with the KWS because of the hippos in the river. But our divers were not able to get that body from the river. And we had to rely on the likes of Akina Matata, the local divers, to get that body out of the river. If these guys are provided with the necessary equipment, if they are equipped with the necessary knowledge and equipment, then they will be very helpful to the community and to the cause of managing disasters and emergencies. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Okay. Honorable Lloyd.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this report. I'm a member of this committee. I have to say that this disaster management plan is a proactive step towards building a resilient and a secure county. And this plan is a critical framework for safeguarding our county and its residents from devastating impact of disaster. We've prepared this document for some time, and it is very important for us to pass this document, urging the executive that the emergency fund we had for the budget we passed recently was so little. So when we're having the supplementary budget, at least we hand a little bit of money to the emergency fund. The plan is very important in enhancing community safety and resilience. And this plan aligns with our constitution, the County Government Act 2012, the Kenya Vision 2030, and the Sustainable Development Goals, ensuring that the Machakos County adheres to the national and global standard for the disaster risk reduction. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Musila.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think this is a timely document trying to address the problems that occur all over. I raise to support the plan, to say also, echoing what my colleague Paul Wambua said about the rivers. Where I come from, there is a big river, and the disasters are almost every other day occurrences. The problem we could be having where I come from is lack of a reporting desk, because I don't expect people from the diaspora to get assistance much from Machakos town or Machakos county headquarters. At times we also get problems emanating from our neighboring counties. People drawn from upstream, Karatina, Nyeri, Kirinyaga and the areas, but they are all brought, or the bodies are brought down to our area where there is a big mass of water. And then we don't have trained people to retrieve the bodies. And even when they retrieve the bodies, where do they take them? Who takes care of the information regarding the particular person who has already drained. We only rely on our local assistant chiefs. We don't have also a well-trained personnel to deal with these kind of cases. So we end up taking this kind of information towards Kirinyaga, towards Moranga and the other areas. That's why I would want to say I totally support this plan by the committee that they can find a good reason and also open offices from the far or for the far-flung areas of Machakos County, and particularly the counties, not the county, but the sub-county of Masinga that borders Tana River. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mwanga? Yeah. Honorable Mulinge, I'll give
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for catching my eye. Madam Speaker, I stand to support the report and applaud the chair and his committee for coming up with this report. Madam Speaker, on page 7, note 4.1, it talks about the purpose of the plan. It says the aim is to minimize the impact of the natural, human-induced, and technological hazards on the population. Madam Speaker, on the human-induced hazards, we should also include terrorism. Yes, because that is a disaster which is human-induced. And also, Madam Speaker, I come from a ward that borders Tana River. And there is a lot of activity in agriculture. And Madam Speaker, I want to say it here that there are chemicals. I want to know from the chair whether this disaster management plan will take care of the farmers and the communities surrounding the river and Tana rivers, because we have chemicals which are being spread by the farmers who farm there to stop the ripening of potatoes or to hasten the ripening of tomatoes, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Mulinge, with my permission.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what I did was not contributing but seconding the motion.
I said, members, please, let's read our standing orders.
Sawa.
They are very clear. Once you have uttered some words,
Yes.
whether you are seconding or you are doing what,
Yes.
you have made a contribution.
Well
so they say
guided.
the best thing to do is just to bow without saying, so that you can now preserve an opportunity for yourself to contribute. Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well guided. Madam Speaker, I'm the vice chairman of the centralized unit. And I would like, Madam Speaker, first to thank my chairman, Honorable Brian Kisila, and the committee members for the energy they have given to come up with this good and noble document that is addressing the challenges we have faced as Machakos County. Madam Speaker, you remember last year we had a ventilation of disaster, that is a lot floods in the river, and the document is a vital print of Machakos County that is going to enable the citizen of Machakos to address some of the challenges they have been facing, losing of their property because of lack of proper coordination of our disaster management committee. Madam Speaker, we have been putting some funds, 2%, that is supposed to be used to address these challenges. But because of lack of a plan, we have been supplementing that funds to the other activities when the purpose of the funds is not addressing the challenges. So, Madam Speaker, I raise, as I had said earlier on, to support the report, but I urge the department to prioritize, because what we have done is a plan, and it is going to be actualized when there is a goodwill in funding, proper assessment of the disaster to avoid them from taking place. So, Madam Speaker, I support the report. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I now invite the mover to come and respond.
Madam Speaker, I would like to thank members for a very good contribution, and I want to respond to Honorable Mwanga's comment. We actually have, this is a report, we actually have the detailed plan itself, the plan which is available, and I'll be sharing with members so that you can go through it. But in the committee, we identified several hazards which we are going to cover, which are exposing Machakos residents. One of them is drought. We have a lot of drought in Machakos, famine, food insecurity, floods, epidemics, mudslides, deforestation, desertification, transportation accidents, pollution, structural collapse, fire outbreaks, civil unrest like the ones which were happening recently, mining hazards, terrorism, and agricultural related hazards. So I think, Mheshimiwa Mwanga, the plan talks about those issues which you are mentioning. Madam Speaker, my last point is on the budgeting process. The law allows us to provide at least maximum 2% of our budget should be going to disaster management and risk mitigation. So I'm urging members in our next budgeting process, let us make sure that we provide at least some money, good amount of money, because hazards are there, terrorisms are there, flooding is there, mudslides, unrest are there. Let us make sure that we give the executive enough money so that there's a disaster, they can be able to fall back to it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. I now put the question that this Assembly adopts the decentralized units and County Administration Committee report on the County Disaster Management Plan tabled in the Assembly on Tuesday, 15th July 2025. As many are of the opinion, say aye. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 22nd July 2025 at 10:00 a.m. in the morning.